don't have time to be stopping to watch a ploughing match. I stepped off the train at Taunton to start my first ever 100-kilometre ride, and it immediately started raining. Immediately. And I'm not necessarily surprised because there is a yellow warning for rain and thunderstorms today. I looked at the rain radar and it actually didn't look that bad, and it didn't look that bad here. So I sort of crossed my fingers and I'm really hopeful, but it could potentially be not ideal, especially as this is a really exposed route once I get off the beautiful canal path. So what am I doing here? I am riding a 100-kilometre route. I've never ridden that far before, and it's a nice number, you know, it's a century, a metric century. But I didn't want to do it where I live because it's really hilly, and it would be very difficult to avoid, getting well over 1,000 metres of elevation. I wanted to make life easy for myself. So I've come to the Somerset Levels, which are, as the name gives away, quite level. This whole route, 100 kilometres, is going to be around 500 metres of elevation, which isn't insignificant. It's not the Fens, where you'd maybe rack up 100 metres of elevation in that distance. But it's also not Dartmoor, where you'd rack up 2,000. So I've made it as easy as possible, and I'm starting on the Taunton and Bridgewater Canal. Very wet. It's absolutely pissing it down. Why? Why is it raining? This is so grim, I'm actually considering just stopping in Bridgewater, which is the next town, and getting the train home. That's how grim it is. I'm actually now really cold as well because I just got wet and now I'm cold, and I've still got 80 kilometres, no, I've still got more than that, 90 kilometres to go. So yeah, that's where my head's at right now. I'm 10k in. Not having a great time. The sky's ever so slightly brighter and it's not currently raining, so I have not hopped off the route at Bridgewater, and I'm continuing. I don't feel particularly optimistic or enthusiastic for it, but I'm here now and it's not raining. So the good thing is that this is a loop, so I can cut it short at any time and just head straight back to Taunton. So that in the back of my head, like, that's quite a nice reassurance. That canal path from Taunton up to Bridgewater would have been really, really lovely and spectacular had it not been raining the entire time. And that turned the trail into like really muddy, so I'm covered in mud, and it was just grim, but it would be really nice ordinarily. This is now officially the Somerset Levels. And it is pretty level. Got 78 kilometres to go. It's midday. I got off the train at 10 because I obviously had to cycle 10 kilometres to the train station to even start this whole thing. So it's already quite late in the day for a big ride, but hey ho. I don't have time to be stopping to watch a ploughing match. I'm riding the National Cycle Route 3 at the moment to Glastonbury, and it's also the Eurovelo 1, so that's pretty nice. I'm often on the Eurovelo 1, it goes all over the place. The wind has picked up, or rather I've got into the wind, because whenever you get flat land, obviously you get wind. Just ask the Danish. My bike is absolutely covered in mud. Covered in mud. I'm covered in mud. Ugh. This is a perfect example of the Somerset Levels. They're crisscrossed with these massive drains, so they're big drainage, like irrigation channels, and some of them are huge and they are dead straight. It also means that lots of the roads are really straight as well, like Roman roads, but not Roman, I don't think. I think they're just drainage channels, roads alongside them. If you look on a map, any map, of Somerset Levels, you'll just see this like crisscross. It's quite like the polders in the Netherlands. Maybe they're the same thing actually. You just get all these like straight irrigation channels, straight roads, farmland. Yeah. Sunshine and a headwind, but that means that when I turn around from Glastonbury and get back to Taunton at the halfway mark, I'll have a tailwind. I'm getting hungry. I've sort of been working my way uphill through a couple of small like villages, and then I realised that I was actually on top of a hill. And I had a lovely cruisy, unexpected cruisy descent down, which was blissful. Headwind has really kicked up now, and I cannot wait to turn around and have a tailwind. It's going to be glorious, I hope. And I've just had my first glimpse of Glastonbury Tor on this ride. So Glastonbury, for those who don't know, is a town in the Somerset Levels, but it's like on a hill, and Glastonbury Tor is a hill which like rises out of the flatlands around it and has a sort of tower on top of it. It's got lots of mystical, magical, legendary stuff and things attached to it, but it does look incredibly beautiful just rising out of the flatlands. So I stopped really quickly in a supermarket in Glastonbury to get something to eat. Glastonbury has loads of nice cafes, but it was so busy, but also I just don't have that much time, and I'm a bit concerned because I'm trying to catch a train back obviously, and I've got like a bike reservation on that train. I don't really, like I have a lot of time, but at the same time I have a lot of anxiety. So I'm just going to push on now. So I've basically just like eaten something really quickly. I'm just going to push on and then hopefully stop for a coffee in like Pitney or Somerton or Langport or one of those places that I don't know what they are or where they are. And there is Glastonbury Tor. That's it. It's there. It's, oh, I can't even see it. It's there. Okay, seriously. This headwind must be almost over, like I must be turning around in the next kilometre or two because it is getting insane. Definitely getting pretty tired, and I've got 45 kilometres to go. I don't know why I'm so tired. Like the Dartmoor Way that I did a few weeks ago, the elevation for that was much more, and the distance was almost the same. That was 91 kilometres, and I don't know, I can't remember, 1500 meters of elevation or something. This is 500 meters of elevation. Should be easy, but it ain't. I've turned. This is the turn. Now I'm going back. Now I'm going downwind. This is so steep and it's so rough that I can't even make the most of it. If I was on my mountain bike, this would be a blast. Oh my gosh. You know what? It's 10 to 4 and I think I'm gonna miss all of the coffee shops on the way back because it's like a very uneven proportion of coffee shops on this route, which is my fault because I planned it. And they are all closing at 4 and I still haven't reached them yet. So that was a mistake. I spied a farm shop that apparently closes at 4:30 and it's 4 o'clock. I just need coffee, that's all I need. I need coffee. The cafe is closed, but the guy who runs the farm shop has just said that he'll go and make me a coffee. Amazing, like that is amazing. Okay, let me tell you about the kindness of strangers. So at Pitney Farm Shop, there is a farm shop and a cafe, which are separate-ish, in the sense that one is closed because it's too late and the other one is still open for another half an hour. So the farm shop was still open, but it doesn't sell coffee. But the guy who is in there, who I'm assuming lives here and owns it, was so kind that he ran into the farmhouse and just made me a cup of coffee for free. What a legend. And then like took a look at the route and made sure like I wasn't going to go down a closed road that's coming up. Oh, so nice. So if you're in this area, stop off at Pitney Farm Shop. I'll put the link in the description because they're just a nice bunch of people and I'm sure the food is great too. I would love to have time to stop and eat there. So yeah, that has absolutely made my day. Like just a really great simple black cup of coffee, just absolutely perfect. I already feel a million times better just for a bit of coffee and kindness of strangers. So thanks Pitney. Why are the biggest hills at the end of the route? I say end, in the last quarter. It's not really the end, is it? I just went past a banner advertising a local honey show that's on today. How quaint is that? I cannot believe the day started so terribly and the evening is so beautiful. So glorious. So pretty, it's so pretty. My rack bag though, look how disgusting it is from this morning. My phone is also on its last leg, so I brought my power bank with me because I am smart. So I'm just going to charge that, but I can put my power bank in my super long top tube bag and then just snake the cable up through this little cable hole to my phone. Okay, so I've cycled, oh god, this is very gravelly. I've cycled 80k. Little over 80k on this ride and then obviously 10 earlier this morning to get to the train station. So I cycled 90 on my legs. I feel much better after the coffee. I'm not going to lie, that made quite a big difference. Got 18.8 to go. So it seems manageable, depending on the hill profile. I am actually having a really good time now. Whoa! I think because I know I got less than 20k to go, I should be fine with my train. So like the pressure has worn off. I think a better idea would be to like drive and park somewhere so you don't have that time pressure. Obviously I could have done this from my house, but I can't if I am looking to minimise elevation because I live in a very hilly area. Still going. I mean, half an hour now maybe. I've been riding this drove road I am beaten. I need to get into a bath with Radox. Do you remember Radox? Radox from the 90s? Do they still sell that stuff? Thank the heavens that is over. The drove road has finished, the unmetalled gravel potholey, just endless potholes. I feel like I have been beaten up by elephants. So now I'm back on a road. 13 kilometers to go, back on a road. Yes! Why is there a sneak attack hill? I feel like the hill should be over. It feels like Surprise Hills should be over. My chain has been making a horrible high-pitched squeaking noise I'm sure you can hear since the road's dried up, so it's just covered in grit and mud. Whoops. This is the village of Ham, which is where ham comes from. I'm on 97.28 kilometers. Oh yeah. And let's not forget, again, I have already ridden 10k to the train station. So I'm actually over 100 kilometers. I'm on 107, which is pretty exciting. But there's something in my head that makes me want to do it all in one go, you know? Which is ridiculous when you think about it, because I was on the train for 48 minutes, that's it. Like, I could have been sat at a cafe for longer than that and still count it as part of the same ride. The canal is so peaceful and lovely compared to this morning when it was just pissing it down with rain. Woohoo! 100 kilometers. And I haven't even finished yet, which is my poor planning. Yes, Taunton Station. I made it in time for my train. Actually, in great time for my train, but half an hour. No, 20 minutes. Perfect. How did I manage that?